So I'm Nick Olson. I work in the Office of Sponsored Projects, and I'm also the systems coordinator at OSP. So I'll just give you a brief introduction and how to create an account within research.gov. So it's pretty straightforward process. The first thing that you're going to want to do is go to research.gov. In the top right-hand corner, there's going to be a register button. And if you do click that, it's just going to be general information about yourself. But once you submit that information, you still will need to go into your profile and send an affiliation request that will be approved by OSP. So if you could go to the next slide. Here you're going to have options for what you want to do. If you're a PI or a support staff who's helping your PI put together the proposal, you're going to want to click on the first one called Add Investigator or Authorized User. And you're going to want either the PI role or the other authorized user. And then once you get into there, it's going to ask you for your DUNS number that you want to be affiliated with. So you can find that information on OSP's webpage if you don't have it. And then that request will be sent to OSP and we can approve it from there.
Okay, so like Nick said, you go into the research.gov portal and you're going to go into sign in. This is after you get an NSF ID, and you're going to use the sign in button and you're going to get a screen that looks like this. And you can either go to sign in with your NSF net ID and password, or you can pick through the drop-down menu and pick the University of New Mexico. And you can go in with your single sign-in and see the screen that we're used to seeing and go in with your net ID and your password. So you guys could follow along. I'd love to do a live demo, but given the constraints of time, I'm just going to show you a series of screenshots. We would go in through this demo site, and in this demo site, you can act as the PI. So what we'd really love for you guys to do is play around in this demo site for research.gov, because NSF has been threatening for Fastlane to go away for a long, long time. They actually gave us a date. It is December of 2022. So you kind of need to warn your PIs that the date is looming. We all know that time goes really quickly. So let them know December of 2022 is going to be when Fastlane is actually going to be sunsetted. So here in this demonstration, we're going to kind of show you the screens that they're going to be seeing and you're going to be seeing. In this demo today, we're going to show you how to insert a budget, how to do an authorized user. So this is where the PI is going to give you rights to the proposal. This is kind of like in Fastlane where they would do a temporary ID and a PIN. Here, they're just going to enter in your email. So we're just going to keep moving right along. When you go into research.gov, you're going to come in after the demo site, you're going to prepare a proposal. Once you hit prepare proposal, you're going to come in here and you can either pick University of New Mexico or National Science Foundation. For this demo, we picked University of New Mexico. We're going to hit save and continue. And then you start playing around and you're going to pick a solicitation. So for this demonstration, I picked just a general one. We're going to do Division of Chemistry, and we're going to just keep moving. This is one that does not have a deadline date, but it does have a directorate and a division and a program. So you are going to have to pick one of these. Problem with research.gov. If you go in and you start picking this sort of stuff and you hit save, you can't go back and change it. So once you've picked that solicitation, you can't change it. You have to start from square one. Whereas in Fastlane, you could go back and make changes. You can't in this mechanism. In this electronic research system, you'd have to start all over again. So you select your directives, you're going to select your proposal type and you're going to select your submission type, which is a full proposal. And then you're going to see this, and let's see if I can get this out of here. Okay, so now you're going to see you can change your proposal type, and this starts to begin to look like a cover page for Fastlane. So if you could take a look, this shows your funding opportunity. This shows what we picked of the division. We picked a proposal type, which was research, and the full proposal. And then we're going to show you later how to go ahead and link these proposals. The due date type here, we showed that this does not have a date. So we'll show you along the way going through here. And then as you go through here, you're going to see in the cover page that we'll check this off as we go. We'll show you how to fill in a budget, insert the budget justification, and insert some of these fun stuff. So right now you're going to see on the right-hand side that the forms show that they're not checked. So you're going to go through and enter in PDFs in research.gov, whereas before in Fastlane, you could do a Word document or a PDF. The only thing that you can put in that's Excel is the COA, or the Collaborators and Associations form. And that's the only thing that it'll convert for you. Everything else has to be in PDF. The other thing with research.gov that's different than what we're used to is you're not going to be able to page number anything. So research.gov will paginate everything for you. So just something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, something that you're not used to. So just want to make you aware of what we're doing on that one. And then our next option that we're going to is how you go and add you. So next slide that I'm going to. So this is the same screen as a bigger option. So it shows you everything that you're going to need here. And here's where you're going to go in here and add personnel. So it's right here, this budget that says manage personnel or subaward organizations. And you're going to add folks the same way. So you're going to hit this manage personnel button right here. And I'm going to go in here and add Nick. So I'm going to add him as personnel. All I do is enter in his email. It pulls up his affiliations. I select one with UNM, and then I'm going to add him. And then there we go. I also added Monica Fischel as an other authorized user. So that's normally what I get added in. So right now I'm playing as the principal investigator, but this is how PIs are going to add you. So we're going to have PI number 1, right? And then you're going to be here. All they're going to do is add you as another authorized user by entering in your email in that box that I just showed you right here. So hopefully I am not speaking too fast. And if I am, Natalie said she would monitor questions for us right there. But hopefully that all makes sense to everybody, that that's where you guys will be able to enter in information. So moving right along, this is the same spot that you're going to enter a subawardee organization. You're going to do it here in the manage subawardee personnel. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say that we're going to do a subaward with New Mexico State. And I enter their DUNS number. I go in and I double check. This is their DUNS number. I hit select. And we have them as a subawardee. They get entered into our budgets and our collaborative documents. So Nick is also our subawardee for this entity, and we keep moving forward. So again, we have the screenshot where the forms are unavailable for checking. And what I did here is I did enter a budget for our folks. I did a simple one. It's right here alongside, and my guess is y'all can't see it because it's kind of small, but we did a 3-year budget. The PI was looking for 2 months of salary, of summer salary, 1 graduate student, and what I did here is we put in that 2 months of salary, that one graduate student, and then we take it all along. So the difference with research.gov versus Fastlane is you don't have to enter it year by year by year by save, calculate, go back, and then enter the next year. You actually just have this option, and I don't know if you can see it right here, is you add a year. And then you have year one, and then you get to keep adding it right into the next feed. So you can have, like I just did, that budget side by side on your, hopefully, either a dual monitor, or I have a big monitor, so I can see them and work right alongside. And I can just enter things as I go, double check that everything adds up. Every now and again, I'm off by $1. OSP will not kill me for $1. But you can tell if you're way off, and then we just keep moving along. And so I really like that research.gov can allow me to do this, and I get to see the total picture in the 3-year budget side by side. And I know if I really, really messed up somewhere along the way, and I get a cumulative budget as well as a full budget. So, any questions so far, or does this all seem to be making sense to everybody? Anyone? Okay, we will keep going. So my totals equal up on both budgets. And what I did is I entered in a budget justification form. I had the same one that is there, and I'm not sure if you noticed, but right here they have a print preview form. And that print preview form allows you to print out the budget same as you would have in Fastlane. And you get to look at that cumulative budget, and you get those 1030 forms from NSF year by year, and the cumulative budget and the budget justification. So you can do a PDF of that to upload in Cayuse if you need to, or to send as a subaward document. Sometimes you need to do that if you're doing a collaborative budget. So as you're going through, that's a nice handy tool that you have. And I do have this as well that I can show you at the end of the presentation, because I have this PDF'd, just so that you all can see. So I took the liberty of filling out the cover sheet, adding the budget justification PDF, and also doing that with some of the other forms and documents. And you'll notice now that we've got those little green check marks that show us that no issues are found. And what's going to happen is research.gov has a lot more compliance checks than Fastlane does. And you're going to want that because OSP is going to get this to them error-free, hopefully, if all of these green marks are checked. But you remember I added Nick to that proposal, and hopefully you can see this. I added my PI's information, but I didn't add Nick's information. So I've got this nice red box that says I didn't add his information. Errors are going to prevent us from submitting to the agency. And they're going to alert OSP that there is a problem. So it tells me right here, alert, there's a problem. You have a missing biographical sketch, a missing current and pending, and a missing COA. So that tells me I can't yet submit to OSP. I can, but they're going to alert me right away. Oh, by the way, Acela, you're missing these things for your collaborator right off the bat. So I know ahead of time that I need to go ahead and check this and get those ready for OSP. And you can see that I've already allowed for OSP access right here. And you can do that, oops, right here with share proposal with SPO or ARO. They had access to this proposal with review, edit, and submit. And they can allow you to change the proposal access. The PI is always the one that allows for that proposal access, not the authorized user. So those are privileges that only the PI gives to OSP. So as authorized users, we don't do that, but here in the demo site, we can play with these as much as we want, and we can kind of help the PI. And that's why we're doing this demo, and that's why we want you to use this guide as much as possible so that you can go in and show your faculty. If you go to this left-hand side of the screen, if you use, here, here, and here is where you can guide them to be able to use this tool more efficiently. Okay, our next slide is how to link or view a collaborative proposal. And it's really easy in research.gov. You don't have to assign a proposal pin. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's all done within the system. This proposal is linked to the other one because Nick set it up and said, link this proposal to this other one that I had because we already had set it up. The system does it automatically because Nick said, I'm working with Acela on this proposal. And so I went into the proposals that I had, and I showed you this at the one of the first screens that we had. And I'm going to scroll so nobody look really quickly as I go all the way back. When we went originally into our full proposal option, the proposals in progress is where you will go in and see the proposals that you're working on. Then it'll ask you whether or not, and if we have a couple minutes, and I think we do, we will log into the actual demo site and I can show you these two options. So let me scroll back. Everybody close their eyes real quick. I'll go back to where we were. And I will just hand it over to Nick. And then we'll do a couple more things and I'll actually show you. So Nick, back to you.
Yeah, so just there's actually quite a few resources available. If you guys do have questions about research.gov or really any sponsor portal, you can always contact OSP or OSP appointment. Even if they're not the right contact, they can always direct you to who you should be contacting. And then you can always get proposal support through the FRDO website. And then here's just a couple links on OSP's website that do provide a lot of information. If you ever visit our sponsor portal page, it will give you links to user guides for each portal.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the next one.
And so here's just some more resources, some things that are worth doing is signing up for the listserv for research.gov. They'll send you lots of updates and changes. One thing to note is that Fastlane will be going away in 2022, so it is worth getting to know research.gov. You can find some really good video tutorials and how-to guides on their website. Then also just worth noting is that there's a new PA-PPG coming out soon that's going to be effective come October that includes updates to biosketches in current pending formats.
Right. One thing that they just announced is the biosketch is now going to be 3 pages instead of 2. So, and that's as of October 4th. So that's right around the corner. So I'm going to stop sharing really quickly. I'm going to just escape out of that slideshow. And I'm going to show you really quickly just that let's see, I'm still sharing, but I'm going to show you that how beautiful the budget is. And it's popping up right now, and how it looks just nearly exactly like the budget you are used to seeing in Fastlane. So it looks same, and it has the cumulative budget, and we'll see that it matches the same one that we had. And then here's your beautiful bio sketch.
We're still seeing
budget, but
the
just
slideshow.
Oh, you're still seeing the.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me do another share screen real quick. Okay, now can you see me?
Yeah, we see your desktop.
Okay, so do you see the proposal budget summary?
No.
Annoying. All these fun challenges. Okay. Here we go. Now do you see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So there you go. There's what we're used to seeing in Fastlane. So this is the ResearchDotGov version. So it's very similar. And Natalie, we still have a few minutes, yes?
Yes, we're done at noon, so we have about 15 minutes.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the actual site. I would have preferred to do a live demo, but in the interest of time, we could not. So I'm going to log us in really quickly to Google Chrome. So what Nick and I found out is you kind of have to clear your cache and cookies. Okay, so here we are in research.gov. I'm going to sign us in. I'm going to go in through UNM because it's a little bit easier than remembering all the, and let's everybody cross your fingers and hope that this works. Voila! Okay, so here we go. We're in the demo site. And let's not see because, okay, yay. Because sometimes if you don't clear your cache and cookies, it tells you that there's an error. So if we go to full proposals, these are all the fun ones we've been playing with. So Nick has some, I have some. It tells us that the ones that were linked. And so mainly I've been working with this one, but I've created a bunch of them in order to test out this fun for our demo. But you can check this one is that it's accepted anytime. We have deadline dates. So you just go through and it pops you through all of this fun stuff. But you can tell you can edit the title, you can't edit the funding opportunity. So you just have to be very mindful when they decide to do this, or you start again. So, there's your managed personnel. I took out the subawardee because, then I would have a lot more errors than I did. So if you see then the proposal is ready to rock and roll now, except for the senior personnel documents have some issues. And the issues that they have right now is I have my COA, but I don't have a biosketch and I don't have a current and pending support. So I would be able to upload one of these and we could do that in real time if we wanted to, but we wanted to leave a little room for questions and answers. But this is very user-friendly and it's not as scary as it seems to be. I know some faculty are afraid of change, but change is inevitable. So we just want to make sure that folks are comfortable with it. And so we wanted to give you guys a quick demo and let you play with it a little bit. So there are options for the cover sheet, and the cover sheet looks very similar to what y'all are used to. So we'll open it up for questions. And then if you guys want to come back and take a look at it, we certainly can. So I will stop sharing for now and we'll go from there. So questions, comments, concerns.
It looks like Amanda has a question. Go ahead and unmute, Amanda.
Yes. So one of my questions is when we talk about on the proposal, I guess that homepage where it talks about no issues, when it says no issues, does the system itself account for, if we had included page numbers, if we exceeded word count limitations, will it catch those type of errors, or that's still on the department, the PI and OSD ultimately to catch those ones?
So it won't even let me upload something with page numbers. So it will kick it back to me. When I try to upload something with a page number that's paginated, it won't allow it. So if we have time, we can play with that just a little bit and we can show you. So I could upload a budget justification with a page number or a bio sketch with page numbers. And sometimes if it's, when I tried to do something that was outside of the science CV option, it wouldn't allow it. It was an old bio sketch outside of the new format. It won't play. It will not play. So it's making sure that I don't do something that it does not allow.
Okay, so it is catching some of the format errors that, we all hope we don't ever submit to the sponsor.
Some, but I can't say that it'll do all,
Right.
But it, when you're used to Fastlane and it just like converting, and then phew, fine. And then you're like, oh, and then you guys catch something. It's like, because you're hoping for an A, right? You're hoping that you like, nah, and, you're done and you can submit and you can forget about it. That's not the case with these sometimes, so it's like banging your head against the wall, and, it gets really annoying when you thought you had it from Science CV and it was beautiful and it needs to be flattened or something like that. It's like, it's in the right format. I swear it's in the right format and it didn't get downloaded appropriately or something like that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Other questions, comments, concerns, heartburn? I see something in the chat, but I don't know.
No, but the chat's good. Unless you have it to your private account that I can't see. But I did notice on the research.gov website, they said they're doing maintenance from October 1st to October 3rd. So it's good that
probably over the weekend.
Going on today.
Yeah, it's probably over the weekend. And, when we tried to get in and do some of the stuff that we were trying to do just to get screenshots and get ready for this, it bumped us out. Like it was like error occurred, like you can't get in. It's like, oh. So I had to go in through different windows to get what I wanted. And I think it's clearing your cache and cookies. Like it won't, it's kind of like when Cayuse does an update or something like that. If you don't clear your cache and cookies, you can't get back in. But this is a nice sandbox to really go in and test everything out. Really, there's no questions. You guys are going to just be ready to start with this and submit. Does anybody want to see anything else?
Yeah, we have about 10 minutes left. So if anybody needs any other.
Okay, well, let's see if my theory holds true, right? Just for a minute, and then people can go to lunch early. So let me get back here. Let me share screen. Let me open something in my Finder, because I have lots and lots of stuff in my let me see if I have a let's see if I have a bio sketch, and I think I do, for a PI that would not pass muster. And let's see, I believe it's old. So let's put one that wouldn't. And let's see if I browse in here. And let's see if I go in here and I do one from 2020. Let's do 2019, because let's say that it wouldn't. And it's uploading and it's thinking. Errors. See, so it doesn't approve. So does that help you, Amanda?
Yes, I was just curious because, you know, when it makes it to OSP, most of the time I'm like, yeah, all green checks all the way down, but, you know, I still follow my guidelines in looking at formatting issues amongst other things. And so I'm wondering, you know, on the front end, does it catch it for you guys? So thank you.
Yeah. So this one says, shame, shame, we know your name. And it won't even let me try and put something up that is, you know, from too far back. And so I know I have stuff coming up from him. And so I need to get from him more recent information. But in Fastlane, it's not going to catch it. So it just won't allow it. So if there are no more questions, we will let people go on their merry way and get a few minutes back in their day.
Thanks so much to you both. Really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy being participants tomorrow instead of presenters. Thank you so much
For
being
sure.
here.
All right, everybody have a lovely day.